Hi, my name's Alex. I'm from Quickaid. I did work with another person, but he couldn't make it down to Plymouth, so I'll just be presenting it now. So we created Quickaid in the hope to solve a problem. There are massive numbers who die each year due to heart attacks because first aiders can't reach them fast enough. Now, this isn't due to a lack of first aiders. There are plenty of certified first aiders, but they just have a lack of communication between, so they can't find out easily when there's an incident that they need to attend. Quickaid is a way for us to solve this problem. So the first way is that it allows emergency services to call upon people nearby who are trained in first aid to attend the situation in advance. So they can do this from the centralized location. So when someone, for example, calls 999, there's a delay maybe between the ambulance getting to the location of the person. Maybe it's 10 minutes delay, but there's a first aider who can reach them in a minute. They can ask for a first aider to get there and be with the person who needs attention up until the point the ambulance gets there to treat them. Also, we're hoping to crowdsource first aid in the way that if there's a passerby who notices someone in need of first aid, they can open the app or the website and request help for them. So it's not just a centralized location, but it can also be through passersby. We created two ways in order to request help. There's a website, for example, for a centralized location. We've also got a panic button, which I'll come to later on. If we look at the web interface, we wanted to keep things very simple. We didn't want there to be, if someone's needing help, we don't want there to be a complicated way for them to be able to request this, or someone else request it for them. We kept it very simple, just the basic fields. So we have an address field, so if you have a postcode or a street name that you want the first aid to go to, you can just enter that straight away. There's a latitude and longitude field. If you know that, it's more difficult to put it in accurately, but it's there just in case. And there's also an option to have an issue code given, so that the first aider will know before they get to the scene what to expect. There's also a way to be able to get the location of the user before of the device, so you can. That's another fast way. This is the helper app. So every first aider, they get vetted. So after they finish the first aid course, for example, they can be recommended to go on by, for example, St. John's Ambulance. They can be recommended to go on and start helping people. After they're checked that they've got first aid certification, they're allowed to receive incident reports from local people. So first of all, a push notification comes in, alerting them to the fact there's an incident. Then they can either accept or reject the request for help. If they reject it for whatever reason, maybe they're too far, they can't reach it in time, then it'll get passed to the next person who's the next closest person to the incident. If they accept it, then they're shown the displayed directions with an on-screen estimated time to arrival, so they can work out roughly how long it's going to take them, and they don't need to work out the route, it's already done for them, so they can just go straight away and attend the incident. We created the panic button app as more of an afterthought. This is because we wanted a way for no need for any kind of entry of text. We just wanted the user to be able to go in, press the button, and have someone alerted immediately. It's a cross-platform app, and we just wanted to keep it simple. So just one button, which then gets replaced with a map showing the location of both the helper and you, and the estimated time. The data sources we used: Google Maps API, geocoding API, location matrix distance, location matrix ETA. So the Google Maps is just to show the location of the data of the helper and the requester. The geocoding is for the postcode to location. Then distance and ETA is self-explanatory. I will do a quick demonstration because I don't have much time left. So I'll just do the panic button. So we have, or when it loads, so we have the panic button, and if I go to the helper, so the first aid helper app is on my iPhone. If I press start helping, I'm now ready to receive push notifications. And then when I press on the button here, this turns yellow to show that there's a request been sent, and I've received here on my phone a request for help with a location and time taken. If I then accept that, this will be replaced with a map showing where I am and where the helper is. Thank you. Are there any questions?
They're gutsy, aren't they, with all these live demos?
So you talked
Well done, Alex.
sorry, I've got a question. You talked about the regulation of being able to register this app. So who do you think would regulate to make sure these were genuine first aiders?
It would be a centralised location such as an NHS centre or the St John's Ambulance Service, someone who does the courses and knows what is an official certificate.
And the registered people would have to have motorised transport. They'd have to be on a car.
Yeah,
Because of the transportation setup.
The location's done, the time taken is done by walking distance, because we aimed it first of all for a big city where you have a lot of people who chances are they know first aid. In office buildings you have people who know first aid, so there's all in every office. So in places with lots of office, such as a big city like London, I'm from London, so it was aimed with that in mind. There'll always be a lot of people knowing first aid in the area. So walking shouldn't be too far, and that's why we chose to do it like that.
Do you have any stats on, or have you done any research on how many people actually have location active on their phone at any one time? Because a lot of people turn it off, or it's sleeping or dormant.
The what, sorry?
The location awareness,
Okay.
like as a responder, right? Yeah, my phone, like a lot of people for battery life, etc., switch off their data or they switch off their GPS. Do you have any data on how many people actually keep their phone live and location aware all the time?
No, I don't have any data. However, if you were signing up to be a helper, you'd probably set aside some of your time to do it. Or you'd have a spare afternoon and you're out in London or a city and you think, okay, I can help someone out if they need it. You activate it for that short time and then you can respond to requests. If you deactivate it, then someone else in the area will also have it activated, hopefully, so they can go and attend to it.
So would you build a scheduler in as the next sort of feature?
It's an idea. It could be.
I was going to ask, with that combination of data sources, have you thought about other potential applications beyond first aid?
There are probably quite a lot of ways to do things. Off the top of my head, I don't have any, but using that, there's a lot of ways. If someone requests anything, it could be delivery, for example, speedy delivery, same day or something like that. It could be used in that way.
I have a quick question. So when you're sending out these SOS messages to the network, is it also sending it to a centralized 999 operator or something like that, or?
No, it's not. The idea is that either 999 is being called and they realize that there's a time delay between assistance, so they can ask then a first aider to come and be there for the time being, which means that they can get assistance sooner, maybe not fully taken to hospital, but they can have some kind of trained person there with them, in which case we don't need it to be sent off to a centralized location because they'd be sending it out. And if it was just a passerby pressing for the first aid, they'd probably have called the ambulance as well if it was something serious. If not, then the centralized place wouldn't need to know really anyway.